Colby Froker ready to kick it away for the Bobcats. Noah Whittington, Jaden Lamar back deep for Oregon. Returnable, it's Whittington. Goes up the middle past the 25-yard line, and that is where Dante Moore makes his first start in 2 years. Had just 8.
Because he believed so much in Coach Stein and his ability to develop him. Coach Stein said when it's all said and done, Dante has a chance to be one of the best he's ever seen.
From the 26, handoff goes to Whittington, cuts it back, huge hole. Down the sideline goes Whittington, finally pushed out of bounds into Bobcat territory. Brand new offensive line. I'd say they blocked that perfectly, Jake.
Yeah, well, we're always excited for week 1 and that first snap. And if you needed another reason to be excited, if you're a Ducks fan, there it is right there. And you mentioned the new offensive line, 4 new starters up front. Even with these new faces, I think they have a chance to compete for the Joe Moore Award. Noah Whittington gets the start at running back, but we'll see 4 or 5 guys there. Talented backfield.
All by himself after a 35-yard gain. Moore back to pass. Moore to the outside. Catch made by Bryant. Just past the 35-yard line. Gary Bryant, who has had a few riddled seasons of injuries that he has had to deal with. He might be wide receiver #1 next to DeCorian Moore this season, the freshman.
He's the veteran in the room, and think about how important that is starting a new quarterback in Dante Moore. Will Stein said you won't find a more steady and consistent player than Gary Bryant. Said last year he expected Bryant to be the 4th or 5th option, but because of injuries he just didn't get the chance to showcase that. You said it, Jeff, he's wide receiver 1 or 2 now.
Stacked down at the bottom. Design run for Moore, and he runs for the first down.
There's that moxie, that it factor, the infectious leadership. Think about Bo Nix and Dylan Gabriel, different types of leaders, and Dante has his own style of leadership. I've heard him compared to Marcus Mariota. You see him running a little bit, looked a little bit like Marcus.
First down and 10 from the 26. Moore hands it off up the middle. Another big run for the Ducks. Pickup of 8 on first down. Starters for the Ducks. Again, the skill positions very different. Kenyon Sadiq, one of the best tight ends that nobody talks about. They certainly will over the course of the year. Only one returner to that offensive line. That's Poncho up front. Lalaulu.
Easy up.
Move the chains for the Ducks defensively for Montana State. This defensive line is going to have their hands full, but I tell you, the defensive coordinator Sean Howe really loves this group.
Yeah, and it's a good matchup, a fun matchup. The experience for Montana State is in the trenches. That's where they return their best players and their most experience, but there's a lot of youth in the secondary. So I'm interested to see the chess match. Of course, talking about Dante Moore getting his first start, some of these new faces at wide receiver. How often is Will Stein willing to test that new secondary for Montana State?
Inside the red zone, Jaden Lamar is the setback. Lamar carries, bounces to the outside, to the corner. Lamar to the house. Atticus Sappington, one of the few seniors on this team. For the point after. Kick is up and good. 6 plays, 74 yards for 2. First, we'll see this Bobcat offense for the first time in 2025. From the goal line, Jabez Woods hit at the 20-yard line. Jones to the left of Lamson on this first play. Lamson to the outside, catch made, and a huge hit laid. Showing pressure, they bring pressure. Back to pass, Lamson again, incomplete. Center not playing today. 3rd down. And we'll get procedure more than likely on the Ducks.
LaPointe Lanning said he's a first-round talent at his best. It's just about playing consistently throughout the season.
He's right on the football. 3rd and short for Montana State. And there he is. Drops Jones for a loss. Coaches, players, everybody we talked to about Amari Washington said he's a menace. He showed it there on that 3rd down play.
Number 4 on Bruce Feldman's freaks list.
May have got a hand on that one. It's going to go out of bounds, and the Ducks will have great field possession for their second.
He's right there in the bunch to the back of the slot.
Moore's got it. On the toss, Moore to the outside. Moore cuts back in. First collegiate touch, and he gets a first down for the Ducks. Let's go to Chicago. Dave Revson with the studio update. Just keep churning them out. Whittington in the backfield. Whittington gets it. Again, a big cut, and then a big hit and dropped.
Will Stein said, I mean, you think Oregon, you think spread offense, a ton of receivers, but he said it's forced him to adapt this offseason how deep they are at the running back and tight end position, mixing in new personnels and formations. It's going to be fun to watch.
Might go 5 deep at running back, go to the outside, and a hit and a shed of Sadiq. Sadiq, touchdown! That's a big boy score for the Ducks.
Can squat a house, runs 23 miles per hour. I sit on the Mackey board, so we'll be voting on the nation's top tight end. I got a big feeling.
Plus.com, make sure you enter 20OFF when selecting an annual pass at checkout. Take advantage of this offer. Fair catch called for. Lamson hands it off. They try left side, nothing there. Maybe a yard for Montana State. Lamson design run and almost broke it loose. He's across the 30. Dowler, the motion man. Heat coming from the Ducks. Flag is out, incomplete pass. We'll check on the penalty.
Illegal formation, offense, 5 in the backfield. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Gary Bryant back to receive the punt from Froker. Good punt this time around, sends Bryant back, catches it at the 5th.
Illegal formation, 5 in the backfield on the kicking team. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run.
Bring it to pressure, it's blocked by the Ducks. A scoop and down to the 10-yard line, and that is why you push him back. So first down and goal from the 10, handoff outside, it's Moore. And he's upended right at the 10-yard line. Cooper Perry, Justice Lowe, the wide receivers on the bottom of your screen. They're going into the corner. Incomplete, intended for Lowe. Moore to pass again. Moore gonna run and push out of bounds at the 5. 4th and goal from the 5. Take what the defense gives you from 23 yards for Sappington. And he puts it through. 17-0 Oregon. Block punt leads to 3. Sappington to kick it away. Fair catch called for and made by Woods.
They will win a national championship with him as their head coach.
Put Long in motion. Lamson swallowed up by that Ducks front. Showing pressure, bringing pressure. Pass caught across the middle. Taco Dowling.
Good job by Montana State throwing into the pressure.
Lamson to the outside now. Hits his tight end, Ryan Schlepp. Getting closer to midfield. Lamson across the middle. Finds Dowler again. And he's across the 50 into Ducks territory. Another first down for Montana State. Team that finished 2nd in the FCS, lost to North Dakota State in the national championship game. And a false start, right tackle. Dowler in motion. Dowler will get the handoff over the left side. Dowler then gets horse collared down near the 40-yard line. 2nd and 3 for the Bobcats. Jones in the backfield. Jones gets the tote across the 40. Lamson has it. Maybe a half a yard. It'll bring up 4th down for Montana State. Handoff goes to Davis. Davis met behind the line, and the Ducks hold again. Kyle Casper at the bottom of your screen, a guy again that has had some injury issues. Moore looking over the middle, and he's got the catch. Moore's going to keep up the middle, upended.
He's going to be a big-time threat in jump ball situations.
They target him, throw off the mark, brings up third down. Whittington up the middle, across the 30, and a first down for Oregon. Thanks to Brooke Fletcher, Dan Lanning, adjustment up on the formation up front. Two running backs on the field. They give it to Lamar, his first touch of the year, went for a score. This one goes for a gain of 1. Another running back on the field. It's Jay Harris. Pass caught. Benson again, his second catch, wrapped up. Third down coming for the Ducks. 18 yards on the ground for Moore. Back to pass. Another first down for Oregon. Bryant, spin move, hit at the 15-yard line.
And that includes the running backs there. Great job by Jay Harris.
Redshirt junior out of Northwest Missouri State, the transfer. From the 14-yard line, Harris gets it. And Harris dragged down Paul Brott, the nose tackle, after a short gain. Moore across the middle, incomplete.
See if Dante Moore gives him a shot.
Looking end zone across, there's Benson. Depend on the spot. He got to the 5-yard line. He needed the 4. 4th and 1. Davison gets it right side. First down, Ducks. He's the thunder to the thunder and lightning of the future. The running game for Oregon.
235 pounds. Will Stein gave him the comp to Carlos Hyde. Guy that had a ton of success for Ohio State back in the day and had a long career in the NFL. They love both these freshman running backs. Stein said the future is in good hands of this Oregon Duck backfield.
Jumbo package again. Give it to Davison, right side. Davison, touchdown, Oregon.
We talked about the size at 235, but the quickness in the jump cut to beat Montana State to the edge.
4 drives, 4 scores. Fox Sports app. Kick is away. It'll be a touchback.
I'd be interested to see how many different plays Stein has called at this point. It's been a simple game plan.
Hand off to Jones up the middle, brought down after a gain of 1. Purchase with the tackle.
But you want to stick to your bread and butter.
Bear Alexander on the field, I should say. They go across the formation, and Dowler with another catch. Looking that way, and it's incomplete. Tried to get it to Chris Long. The transfer from Rutgers was behind him. Froker back to punt again. Had his last one blocked.
Delay of game, kicking team, 5-yard penalty.
And both blocks have come up the middle. Look at all those green jerseys.
Bringing heat again, almost got there again. Bryant on the return. Bryant up the sideline. Ball is out and out of bounds. It took an Oregon bounce at the 50-yard line. We were talking about a lot of those names for Ohio State's defense. Very familiar because they played a ton last year. 5th drive for Oregon across the formation. Here's Justice Lowe with a catch. They'll give him a first down after a gain of 11.
And this is what's fun about the current landscape of college football. That loss doesn't kill Texas. It doesn't hurt them at all. And still, both teams came out there and absolutely wanted and played like they needed to win that game, but it's a long season ahead. They'll have a chance to rebound.
Bryant in motion. Hand off to Whittington, trying to slither his way through. Gain of a couple. Think about Ohio State's run last year. 2 losses, one against these Ducks right here at Autzen Stadium, and then one against Michigan. Last game of the regular season, Oregon ends up winning the Big Ten championship, beating Penn State. And then Ohio State gets their redemption in the Rose Bowl against Oregon.
It's a long season, and I played in college, I played in the NFL, and just the rhythm of the season was significantly different between college and the NFL. But now you're playing 14, 15 plus games if you are making a run towards the national championship. So the management is different.
Nice strike. Reception to the 30-yard line downstairs. Brooke Fletcher-Moore and Emmanuel Pregnon.
Yeah, guys, he left the first quarter after getting rolled on, went back to the locker room. He's back on the sidelines, helmet on. No word yet if he's going back in, but the signs are looking in that direction, guys.
All right, thanks so much, Brooke. Hand off to Whittington, puts his head down and gets a first down for Oregon to move the chains.
That's great to see for Pregnon. I really believe in terms of left guard, left tackle, throw in the center Poncho, but Poncho, Pregnon, and Isaiah World, I struggle to find a better center, left guard, left tackle in all of college football. All 3 of those guys are NFL body types with likely first-round talent at the highest level. Matthew need Pregnon.
Matthew Bedford, the Indiana transfer, is on the field. He's over at right guard at the moment. Sadiq with the handoff. Oh, the jump! Kenyon Sadiq, who's already caught a touchdown, showing off his skills. Maybe the track team wants him now.
Yeah, there's not too many tight ends that can do that, but this is what's so fun. The marriage between Sadiq and Will Stein. He's more than just a tight end. He's a playmaker. It looks just like the Big Ten championship where he had the touchdown, caught it down the sideline, and hurdled the Penn State defender. We're just getting a little preview, a little appetizer of what we expect to see out of Sadiq this year. It's going to be fun to watch.
Just noshing on his skills. Comes to the outside and brought down. Third down coming up for Oregon.
Well, after hurdling the guy, they sent him in motion, and he was a lead blocker and had a big-time pancake out on the edge. Watch him, see number 18 right here on the right side of your screen. Watch him engage the defender when he drives his feet on Carr, the defensive back. He finished that play with the pancake, so he does a little bit of everything.
So he just hurdled Carr, then he pancakes him on the very next play. Yikes.
Don't take offense if you're Carr. It's going to happen to a lot of defenders this season.
3rd and 6, outside pass, made a man move. That's Moore. Moore tried to hurdle, and he's out of bounds at the 10-yard line. DeCorian Moore, his second catch of the drive.
Talk about the weapons. We saw Sadiq. Here comes DeCorian Moore, and we've seen him make a number of plays this game. Get used to seeing that. There's going to be a ton of that throughout his career. What a fun start to his career here at Oregon for the freshman.
He's carried the ball once. He's caught a couple of balls now in this first half. Jaden Lamar to the left side of Moore. 5th trip to the red zone for Oregon. Lamar gets it again and knifed down just shy of the 5-yard line.
There's comparisons, DeCorian Moore to Jeremiah Smith. I get it, they're both 5 stars. Jeremiah Smith had a great start to his career last year at Ohio State as a freshman, but really they're different players to me. Jeremiah Smith is more of a physically imposing talent, almost like a Julio Jones. And Will Stein compared DeCorian Moore to Garrett Wilson, the former Ohio State wide receiver, 10th pick to the New York Jets. Will Stein coached Wilson back in high school. So pretty high praise for DeCorian Moore.
Lake Travis High School down in Texas. Handoff, Whittington. Whittington just short of the goal line. 3rd down and goal for the Ducks.
Once again, Sadiq leading the way. He'll be moved all over the formation for this Ducks offense.
Going fast, Whittington in the backfield again. Whittington's got it, and he's in. Touchdown, Ducks.
It's just a little small preview of what this season's going to be, which I would expect to be a really, really fun and dynamic and high-scoring season.
4 touchdowns, 4 different players. Herrick puts it through for the extra point. Gage Herrick kicks it away and into the end zone. Another touchback, and Montana State came on the same drive. But Julius Davis in motion. Lamson back to pass. And they get Dowler again across the middle of the field, and he's pushed out of bounds. That's the 3rd first down of the game. 59 of the 68 total yards for Dowler in the open field out to the 50-yard line. Lamson to the outside. Dowler again with a catch and a first down for Montana State. It's a team and a program that loves to run, with 3,000-yard rushers a year ago. And we'll get motion. Across the middle. That's Lynn Chuney.
Arsenal.
Across the middle. Nice one-handed catch by Dowler. Ball is out, but it goes out of bounds.
He's the last line of defense. Montana State really hasn't gotten to the last line of defense.
1st and 10 to the outside, incomplete. What Dan Lanning was talking about, just so much depth. Lost 10 guys in the NFL draft, but depth-wise, this team may be more talented. Another incompletion. More
it's a credit to recruiting and the transfer portal.
3rd and 10. Ducks bringing pressure. Dowler trying to get to the outside. He will. Dowler. This is going to be close. Hand off to Jones. Jones trying to slither through. It should say Lamson held on. It was a great play. Fake me out. So Lamson picks up the first down. Montana State moves the chains. Lamson in trouble. He goes down. Mateo Uiagalelei, his first of the year.
Feldman should rank the entire Oregon Duck team.
Lamson again escapes trouble, goes down at the 25-yard line. 3rd and 12 for Montana State.
It's the quarterback draw. No one in the middle of the field.
Finds Dowler, and then he's hit, and the ball pops out.
He's up there as one of the best in the conference.
Sansed back to kick, and his kick is up and through. Montana State picks up their first points of the season. Conference opener in 2 weeks against Northwestern.
Yep.
On the return, past the 30-yard line. Moore looks to the outside, catch, and out of bounds. Jeremiah McClellan, who's blocked 2 punts, picks up his first catch. Gain of 13. And a flag down in the backfield.
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense number 11. That 15-yard penalty is added to the end of the run. Automatic first out.
Kenneth Iden, senior edge rusher. 1,400 yards on the ground a season ago. They go to the outside. Another catch. This is Cooper Perry. His first catch of the day. Excited about that freshman.
And here we go. Here's the operation, the 2-minute. They have timeouts, choosing not to use it, getting lined up quick.
Under 30 seconds to go. And another catch and out of bounds. That's Benson.
And how pretty is that ball, though? I mean, it just jumps out of his hand, a tight spiral. It's a very catchable and light football.
His decision-making today, Jake, has been outstanding. It's first read all day long.
He does not look rushed at all. He looks completely comfortable in this system. And a part of that's the offensive line, too. I mean, he hasn't been rushed.
And he's had a year to learn the system, too. Moore.
Ball's away.
In the corner. Oh, incomplete. He had Kenyon Sadiq. He dropped the football.
Sideline warning, Oregon. That's our first of the game. There's no yardage penalty assessed.
Oh man, what a missed opportunity. That's a beautiful scheme by Will Stein. They sent, I think it was Mekhi Hughes in motion and faked the screen to Hughes and faked the screen to Cooper Perry, and there was Sadiq behind the defense. Not something you see too often. He's got pretty trusty hands.
Perfect pass from Moore. Running the fade and a hold. Flags down as Benson was trying to get space. Carson Williams, the freshman, grabbing Benson.
Yep, they'd run those 10, 15-yard stop routes, and it looked like Williams was just sitting on the sticks there expecting Malik.
Pass interference, defense, number 4. Spot of the foul, automatic first out.
It looked like number 8, Carson Williams, was expecting a hitch route or a curl route, and Malik just ran right by him, caught flat-footed. Easy call for the official.
Pass interference. Spot of the foul, put it at the 11. 14 seconds to go with a timeout. Moore flushed out and incomplete, too tall. Looking for McClellan. Maybe time for 2 plays, 8 seconds.
So I'm nitpicking here, but you know, if Dante could have that back, understanding with 14 seconds, you don't want to hang on to the ball. If you're efficient, you could still get 2 more plays, which would be 3 plays, including the last one. But if you hang on to it too long, you might take away that opportunity. This is probably your last play, or you're sending out the field goal unit. Look at Kenyon Sadiq here to the left.
Moore. Touchdown! It's Malik Benson. Sappington makes it 38-3. The defense allowed just a field goal. That was it. Montana State will get the offense on the field.
Of all the transfer portal additions, they've never taken a transfer edge since Dan Lanning got here.
Nice catch. And a first down for Montana State. Chris Long pulled it in. There was some pressure on that catch. A 16-yard gain matches their longest of the game for the Bobcats. Handoff left side with some room goes Adam Jones. We talked.
It's usually a good thing when you're free safety, you're not calling his name a ton.
Another handoff almost to midfield. Lamson. And it's going to be a first down. The hit was by Aaron Flowers, but just enough to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Been highly respected, but the next switch to flip for Oregon is to become a defense that is feared.
Lamson in trouble, and he hits Dowler on the sideline. He's in the open field. Dowler now across the field. Thiedemann able to run him down and out of bounds inside the 25-yard line.
How about that? 103 of the team's 158 yards for Taco Dowler.
Focal point. Lamson swings it out to the outside. Davis with a spin move. Can't escape the rest of the swarming Ducks.
And he stopped from the elevator and showed me the exit. And I said, thank you, Bryce. I appreciate that.
Heck of a football player and a heck of a nice guy.
Or has a chance to be at least.
3rd and 10. Batted away from Sandstead. He kicked from 42 earlier. Kick is up and right through the uprights. Short kick, returnable. Whittington from the 9. Whittington upended right at the 30-yard line. Malik Hughes opens up in the backfield. Sling it to the outside for Bryant.
Jack, he looks like a complete action figure. Defensive backs are going to have a hard time trying to bring him down, but then you see the finesse. He's hurdled a couple guys too. He can do truly everything.
Decorian Moore was near the first down and then wrapped up by 3 different Bobcats. 10 guys that are ahead of him on that list from Bruce Feldman. Moore dumps it down. Ooh, big hit.
But he said that will not be a mistake that gets made this year.
Terrence Ferguson in front of him, a draft selection as Hughes gets just past the 45-yard line.
I just think it speaks to the depth of this Ducks running back room that he's not getting a ton of carries.
Moore dumps it down to him again. Flag is out. And Hughes has a first down for the time being, but we'll check on the penalty. Just the second penalty of the game against Oregon.
That's Matthew Bedford, the guard. Remember, there's been some shuffling when their starting left guard, Emmanuel Pregnon, went down with injury in the first half. So now it's 3rd and 15. Let's see what Will Stein dials up if he wants to try to push the ball down the field and go for the first down.
Bedford, the Indiana transfer.
Watch this pressure here. These two guys look like they may be coming off the edge. Dante Moore sees it and he's adjusting the protection.
Bring a couple. Good call, Jake. Go across the middle. Catch made. Still on his feet. That's the running back. Now in the open field is Jay Harris. Inside the 15-yard line.
That's a veteran job, a great job by your quarterback, Dante Moore. He's messing with the snap count. He gets Montana State to show their hand. That allowed him to adjust the protection. They picked up the blitz, and all of a sudden, Jay Harris is working on nobody. Nice route by the running back there. Dante hits him for a big explosive.
50 yards to Harris. Now Bryant survives the hit and scores. Gary Bryant finds the end zone. Two plays later. They kick it away for the Ducks. And another touchback. 9 different receivers.
I can tell you, Oregon Duck fans, you got a good one in your wide receiver coach, Ross Douglas.
Handoff goes to Jones, and he goes nowhere. Seeing a great balanced offense from Oregon today. Lampson couldn't escape.
Mr. and Mrs. Douglas.
Lampson finds his favorite target, Taco Dowler.
Easy.
First down for Montana State, and Dowler limping around a little since that 50-yard gain earlier. And he does not look super comfortable in the slot at the moment. Hand off again to Jones. 2nd and 8 for Montana State. And a whistle. Play is dead. And a false start on the Bobcats.
Well, he's certainly a little injured right now.
We got a big one coming up next week, too, against South Dakota State. Jackrabbits. Lampson a pass. He escapes for a moment. Bear Alexander's lined up on the nose. Bringing heat. And down he goes. Uiagalelei for his 2nd sack. 2 punts blocked already by the Ducks. Bryant fields on a bounce. And Bryant brought down at the 35-yard line.
Able to allow him to realize his full potential. Great start here to the 2025 football season.
And just 5 incompletions for Dante Moore. We've got a new quarterback. Austin Novosad is entering the ball game. He'll get the rest of the contest, or at least his drive. Sophomore from Dripping Springs, Texas. Played in 3 games last year. Was just 2 for 2. 3 games as a freshman, 9 out of 11 that year. Moore finished the day 18 out of 23 with 3 touchdowns.
Ball's dead.
There's Dante Moore. I'd say a job well done in his first start in 2 years.
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a fun season, and the sky is the limit for Dante Moore. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I will get ahead of myself. Just watching him throw and understanding what this offense is capable of. There'll be some first-round conversations at some point this season. Stein loves those young freshman running back, doesn't he?
Coming up on a minute to go. Slip it to the outside, incomplete. Looking for Hill out of the backfield.
Obviously, Penn State has national championship aspirations. That is going to be a fun game to watch.
Ball's up.
Novosad has his man touched. Nice play by Kyler Casper. Had to come back for it. It's a big first down inside the 10-yard line for Oregon.
That's a matchup I thought they would have went to earlier. Kyler Casper, we told you a number of times, he's 6'6". Look at the length right there. And he's working on number 1, Jace McMillan, the redshirt freshman, who's only 5'9". So it took a while, but they utilized the height and could have been a touchdown with a better throw.
Davison puts the head down, reaches forward. Touchdown, his second of the game.
We saw some of that on that touchdown there by Davison.
Hurrick puts it through. Clinic from Will Stein today. And the touchback from Hurrick. On the jet sweep. Getting around the corner, spin move, but can't get out of the grasp of Peyton Woodyard. And his well-oiled Ducks machine leads 52-6. Around the edge goes Julius Davis for a first down for Montana State. He's one of them. Pressure coming. Lamson got rid of it, took a huge hit, but completes the pass. Came to Montana State to take a look at it, then committed to Bowling Green. Coach leaves Bowling Green, comes back to Montana State. Takes a big hit.
Excited and felt like he was the right fit to bring in to replace Tommy Millard, their quarterback from last season.
Dowler toughened this one out. Slung down on the outside by Brandon Finney. Pressure from the edge. Lamson goes down again. Third sack by the Ducks.
The future is bright.
7 tackles for loss. DeCorian Moore is back to receive the kick. Let it go into the end zone for a touchback.
Talent than the 2 previous guys. So what does that mean? Sky's the limit.
Luke Moga into the ball game at quarterback. He's down the sideline and rushed out of bounds. He's got a freshman, Dewan Riggs, to his right. Riggs gets the carry. Riggs over the right side. He dives for a first down.
I mean, these aren't just talented players. They love the game of football. There's a professionalism to their youth.
Hand off to the outside. That's Hill. Hill into the open field. Hand off again, right up the gut. Put his head down, and Hill inside the 5, down to the 2. Riggs back in there. Riggs on the carry. Riggs spin move. Riggs got a half a yard. Man, Jake, you are so lucky.
Yeah, I got nervous. Thought the old announcer jinx. But the thing is with the way the offensive line is playing, there's not a concern of going backwards. Even not being able to score there. You just look at the line of scrimmage, and no one is getting knocked back in the trenches for the Ducks.
Snap number 58. You see the rushing yards. Hill is back in there, bringing extra offensive linemen on the far side of the formation. Carry up the middle. And stop short down to the half-yard line. 3rd down and goal.
Nice play there by number 42, Ryan Crea. Linebacker, giving Montana State a few inches to stand on here.
Just inside the 1-yard line. Handoff. near the goal line. Knows the football might be 6 inches away from the goal line. That was Hill again.
Watch the nose of the yeah. Nope, he did not get in, and that was pretty close to being a negative play.
It was close.
As close as we've seen.
Still pushing forward.
You pretty much got 2 options here, right? Score or negative play.
4th and goal. They bring Jordan Davison, who's already got 2 touchdowns in the game. Davison gets it. Davison over the top and in, his 3rd score.
Davison. It's the Davison showcase, and he's proving he really is the total package for a freshman.
Still true, no negative plays and no punts. 9 drives, 9 scores.
Defeated on the road. Iowa was unranked, a game we should not have lost, and they spoiled our season. So that's a dangerous place to play.
Always top heavy. Now the heavy hitters in the league are, but the floor is not as shallow.
A dual threat quarterback that's the most talented quarterback they've had in a number of years.
Pass and secured.
All the action across the league.
Still got more to come. Outside again to Woods, pushes his way forward for a 1st down, and then Gang tackled at midfield.
I believe Will Stein will be a head coach at some point, whether that's next year or the year after. He's a great mind.
Across the middle, wide open, and finally brought down.
When you win, your assistant coaches become coordinators. Coordinators eventually become head coaches. Has had a nice start to his career at Oregon here.
Nice back shoulder catch. You get a foot down, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Say a completed catch. Jacob Trimble somehow got his toe down.
He did not get a toe down.
Maybe not.
That is out of bounds.
Seeing it up on the big board. Trying to snap the football, but substitution letting it play.
Timeout, Oregon. 30 seconds.
Oregon's going to take a timeout. Let's take another look at this from Jacob Trimble.
Prior to the timeout, the previous play is under further review.
Yep. I mean, neither foot was down when he caught it, and he's clearly out of bounds. But Jeff, just to go back to that, you know, that's what a head coach is. Both sides of the ball to have the same playbook.
3rd and 7, 3 minutes to go. Lamson, completed pass to the 15-yard line. Dane Steele, the freshman, his 1st career catch.
Lamson's made a few really nice throws on this drive, just standing in there, knowing he's going to take a shot. Oregon's sending pressure.
From the 16-yard line. Gave him a 1st down. Lamson looking left, throwing left, end zone, and a flag comes out. Naeem offered on the coverage on Chris Long.
Pass interference, defense number 14. By rule, the ball is placed at the 2-yard line, 1st and goal.
And Offord is a true freshman, 6'1", 195. He's in great position there. Oh my gosh, that was Chris Long almost came down with that. Been the catch of the year. Few almost catches here on this drive for Montana State, but nonetheless, their ball on the 2-yard line.
On the Rutgers transfer. 2 catches today for 27 yards. First down and goal. Handoff up the middle. Touchdown Bobcats. Adam Jones. 14 scores a year ago. That's number 1 in 2025. Sandstead puts it through. I thought this was a football game, not a science class. I'm just glad I got photosynthesis out through my teeth. Oregon will get it after the return from Hill.
Keep this offense operating at a near perfect level.
So the note, Dad and Grandpa both played at Oregon. This one goes forward from DeJuan Riggs. Jordan Davison today with 3 touchdown rushes. And Brock Thomas in at quarterback. Riggs in the backfield. Thomas on the carry, gets to the outside, and it's a first down for Oregon, a gain of 5. It's about as clean a game as you could have seen from Oregon right out of the chute.
Really, the only thing is Pregnon. How serious is that injury? I think seeing him back on the sidelines in his pads is really encouraging. That'd really be the only concern I would have coming out of this game today.
Over 500 yards of total offense, a blocked kick, a tipped kick as well. Thomas puts it in the belly of Riggs. Picks up a few. Jake, before we have an opportunity to say goodbye, how about the tribute to Lee Corso today? Made his final pick.
Yeah,
and went Buckeyes.
That was just a special show to watch, and Lee is a legend. He is college football, really. You just think about all the change that we've seen, and he was a pioneer for the changing landscape of media, and such a positive voice and figure. And I just loved watching Kirk and Chris Fowler and everybody interact with him.
A victory formation here for the Ducks. Thomas kneels on it, and that'll be the final snap of this one. The only negative play of the day, and it was the lean down. Shouldn't count. Pretty complete effort from Dan Lanning, and they'll get ready for Oklahoma State next week.
They'll be feeling really, really good about their prep going into that matchup for sure.
How about 506 total yards, 253 on the ground, 253 through the air.
And I'd love to know how many different plays Will Stein even called, because he said he wanted it to be a simple playbook this week. I wouldn't be surprised if it was only like 15 or 20 unique plays.